gonna be a good day, Tater. Hi everyone. Got ourselves a Jeep Chrysler Fiat product here, and the customer states that when they roll the window up and down, a wire comes out of it or something. Let's see what it does. If I can find them. There they are. Jeep buttons. Okay, yeah, that's a broken window. They also said something about the check engine light being on, which yes, it is. I just checked it, so that's confirmed. And they want some regular services, oil change and tire rotation and whatnot. So I'm gonna swing this mofo into the shop, and I'm obviously gonna recommend this window regulator because it's clearly broken to me. And I'll bust out the scanning device, and let's see what we got for these trouble codes. And I will issue a recommendation after diagnosing said issue. So stay tuned, this should be a good one. Right off the bat, I haven't even made it into the shop yet, and I hear like some grindy noise from the engine compartment. Maybe a rattle, but something is definitely sounding abnormal in there. So I'm gonna check that out too. Oh, there's the wire. I found it. I have recreated the customer's concern. Cool. Wow. I've never seen one do that before. This is kind of fun. Hang on. There it goes. Not bad. Oh, I broke it. I broke it a lot. Oh yeah, we're done now. Oh, okay. It's got the 3.7 liter V6. That grinding, rattling noise is normal, so this is okay here. All right, it took me a minute to get into this. The scan tool was getting upset at the fact that it was plugged into this Jeep, and it kept freezing, so I had to reboot it. But now we're in, so let's see what we got here for some trouble codes. EVAP system small leak, okay. And it's still scanning the other modules, so we'll see what else this thing's got going on. Alright, so I didn't come up with any other trouble codes except for that EVAP system leak, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this door panel off, and let's see what this regulator inside looks like. I think it's just going to be one screw, and I'm sure there, oh yeah, there's another one right there. So it appears from the presence of this washer that this has been removed already. Let's find out what's in there. All right, that wasn't too secure, just that one screw, but okay. And I'll get this next screw out over here behind the handle. And there's probably one more hidden screw somewhere, but we'll make that determination after I start to pull this panel away from the door. Here it comes. Come out. Oh no, I pushed it back in. There we go. Got it. Let's see. Some wedges and a trim tool. That should just pop on out. Yeah, they're press clips on this. I'll just go through one at a time and pop each clip without breaking them as best I can. That sounded much more violent than it was. Fear not. Yeah, see the little clips right here? They just they press into their female side here, and then that's what retains the door. So now I need to get the linkage off without breaking it. Always fun. And these connectors too. There we go. Well, that was easy. These door speakers are always in the way, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this out right now. I used to try to work around them, but there are only 3 or 4 screws and 1 plug, so I just pull them off. Let's see, there's the other one, okay. pull away this this door liner stuff. It's held on with this sticky goo nonsense. And these are not really replaceable. I've never been able to find a new one. So I'm gonna try to take care to avoid tearing this. And I wanna keep this sticky stuff where it came from without smearing it around. That way I'll be able to put this, this seal thing back on. Gross. Since I can't really see anything because the majority of this unit is behind this part of the panel, I'm just going to go ahead and unbolt the regulator. We've got two down here for one of the tracks, one up top, and then this one, and this one are holding the motor in. So I'm just going to get those disconnected right now, and we'll fish this regulator out through one of these holes here and then take a look at it. Okay, that's one track. Next, I just need to get this this motor disconnected. Now I'm hanging onto the glass because I don't want the glass to fall down and break inside of the door. That would be unfortunate. I don't think it's going to. Okay, come on, motor. I'm a little nervous. All these edges in here tend to be super sharp, and they'll cut you pretty bad. Seeing as how I'm going to need two hands for this one, I'm going to stick some wedges up here at the glass just to arrest it if it chooses to fall down. Now there is a wire connector here that I can barely reach the clip because this bracket's in the way, but I'm going to try. I need to get this out because this wire is kind of holding me up here. But I can't really get a good grip on anything. I don't want to break it. So I've got my left hand pushing the release button of the tab, and I'm trying to pry the connector away with this pry driver here. It's not very effective. It's not working. I'm gonna break it. See if I can get a better view. Oh, it's got a classic Chrysler locking tab, those little red sideways tabs. Let's try again. Press and pry. Come out. Yeah, that is a Chrysler locking tab. This thing can't be depressed if this tab is in the locked position. It's a Chrysler thing. Okay, now I've got some decent movement going on here. Let's see what's going on. need to get to the bolts that bolt the regulator to the glass, but I can't seem to get that to line up with anything. Of course, this may actually have tabs that hold it in too. Anyway, now the window's free, I'll just slide the window down. Please. Okay, now I got access. Yeah, see these, that little pin is attached to this bracket, which is glued to the glass. I need to pull this clip out and this clip out, and that will separate the glass from the regulator. So I believe I can achieve that with my little pry driver here. Yep, there's one. And let go. Number 2. Okay, so I'm gonna lift the glass up and away from the regulator, and then I'll use my wedge to hold it back in place. Actually, I'm going to use 2 wedges. There. Here comes the motor and its mangled cable. There's the, I don't know what that is. Ow. Stay up there. Alright, that glass is not going to stay, so I'm going to let it down. Okay, so here's the regulator. It is now out. Let's bring this up to the service desk and get them to order me a new one. Okay, now it's time to figure out this EVAP system small leak code that it had. I'm going to go right to the beginning and take a look at this purge solenoid. What this thing does is when the ECM decides it wants to purge the vapors out of the fuel tank, it will open up this solenoid right here. And this solenoid is connected to the intake manifold or a vacuum source, and then it's connected here to the secondary line back to the fuel tank. So when this opens up, an intake vacuum will pull those gases from the fuel tank and then burn them in the engine just as it's running. A lot of times what will happen is these things, after they're commanded closed, which means they're just disconnected from power, when these are commanded closed, they will still be pulling a vacuum, and that will trigger this code to reset. So I'm going to check that first and see what we've got out of it. The way that I'm going to do that is really quite simple. I'm going to disconnect the connector. So now this will be off because it's not energized. Okay. That's my intake vacuum side. That's my vacuum source. So I'm going to hook that back up. Now there's a vacuum source being supplied to this solenoid. And I'm just going to check right here at the fuel tank side to see if I feel any vacuum, which I don't at the moment. But what I'm going to do is try to aggravate this to see if it will produce some vacuum right here at its fuel tank side. And I'm going to do that just by giving it some taps with a soft screwdriver handle. I wish I had a vacuum gauge to connect to this. Unfortunately, I do not. I'm used to my shop actually having that set, and this particular shop does not have that, so I'm doing without right now. So what I'm going to do is just try to show you with my fingy. Anyway, I've got a non-destructive impact device here, and I'm just going to give this a few taps. feel a vacuum at my finger. Take a look. See how it's pulling on me? Yep. Let's do it again. And yep, not so much that time. And there's vacuum at my finger. Feel it? See how it's kind of hanging on to me? And let's break it loose. Okay. So I'm now believing that this solenoid has a very small internal leak. It may be becoming aggravated while the vehicle is driving and this thing kind of bounces around some. Oh, I felt some vacuum just then. Yeah, there's a leak inside this, so I'm going to recommend that we replace this purge solenoid. Before I do that, I'm going to lift the car up though, and I'm going to visually inspect the rest of the system just to make sure that there's no lines that have been rubbed through or something's disconnected, because that's also very possible. I don't think I'll find anything else, because I did find a fault right here, but you never know. So let's go down below and take a look. Also, what you can do, and the better way to do it, is to use the scan tool to actuate those purge solenoids on and off and on and off, and just continue to repeat that until until the solenoid fails to seal, and that's also a positive indicator. However, for some reason, my scan tool is not liking this Jeep. Like I said earlier, it froze up when I plugged it into this thing, and it will not, it won't go into any of the active tests on this particular car. So it might be my scanner, it might be a Jeep. Either way, I just kind of switched to what I would call an analog mode of testing, and that's what I just did. So, like I said, let's go down below and take a look underneath, just to give it a good look over real quick and make sure there's nothing else that's going to be standing out to us. Engine off. Come on. Okay. I'll just leave you here. Econo box with a Jeep badge on it going up. So I accidentally recorded this scene in time-lapse mode, so it's fast forwarding and I don't have any sound, but I didn't find anything down here, so we're gonna move on and go back to the door panel now. All right, we're back in the door panel. I'm preparing to install the new regulator. You can see it's got, it's already broken. You can see it's got the clips installed already, so what I need to do is just lift up this window and snake this guy into position, and we'll bolt it back in. Before I do that though, I'm gonna check the plug and make sure the plug fits, because I've encountered these where you put in the replacement part and then it doesn't plug in, which is usually what folks will do last, and then I've got to go ahead and take it out and do it again, so which would really piss me off. But okay, this plug's good. We're in good shape here. I'm gonna lift this window up and we're gonna get this thing installed and then see how it works. So first things first, let's raise our window back up. I didn't remove it from the tracks, so I'm just gonna push it up by hand. And again, I'll stick a wedge in there to arrest it in case it wants to slide back down, which it's probably gonna start to migrate its way down. I just have to keep an eye on it. They do make some suction cup things that will go over the top of the door frame and suction to the window. I used to own a set, but someone liked them more than I did, and they're no longer with me. So yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna start to snake this regulator back in. I'm trying to do this without really bending the cables much. I don't want to put a kink in them.
That car is here now. Want to talk about earlier?
Okay. Now this came out in pieces, so getting it back in out in pieces could be a challenge. I think I have it backwards. I'll try it the other way. Okay, it's moving on in. We're good. one bolt hole accessible. As usual, I'm just going to run these in by hand at first, and then I will tighten them all down later once the window is attached. Stay. Where's the, okay, that rides up here. I see, I see. Pick up the phone. Plug that in, engage the safety clip. Okay, now I'm going to operate this regulator. And we can see the arm moving down, but I've got this cable in the wrong spot, so I need to move this to this side. Actually, I believe it goes down, yeah, down and under like that. All right, that's running pretty good. I like it. So I'm gonna pull the wedge out of the window, lower the window down, and we can see these pins starting to line up, or at least they should be. What is this? Huh, okay. These guys aren't lining up like they're supposed to. What is the problem here? Why? Oh, I see what I've done. I have this connected in the wrong side. I need to move it over to this hole right here. That's a good reason why. Failure to install properly. So pop that out, move it over to the next hole. Come on, you. That cable's getting in the way. There we go. Alright, now my pins are aligning with the mount, and I'll just slide that down, push them in, and the window is attached. So let's run the window up. And it's up. Coming back down. Yep. Okay. I will now secure the motor assembly to the door panel. Like this here, I'm gonna put it over here where it has clearance. All right, that's in good shape. Let's run it one more time. Good, nothing's interfering, nothing's touching, nothing is binding. Now all that's left is to install that seal, pop the panel back on, and right around that time, my purge valve that we checked out earlier should be arriving, and then I'll slap that guy in, and this Jeep's gonna be good to go. I've already done the oil change service on this off camera. That stuff's pretty boring, and I didn't want to run this video out too long, so you guys aren't going to get to see that part. Okay, time to get this sticky door panel seal thing installed. Let's see if I can remember how this goes. I believe that one goes through here. Yes, Wires are running through this little slot here. And we'll slide it over. I think that's how it went. Yeah. Perhaps. No, I got it backwards. This one goes through here, and then the wires come through this one. There we go. And then up and over the door lock. And you just stick this thing back on. It's got little reliefs where the holes in the panel are for reference. That usually helps out. There we go. That one, that one. Yeah, you just press it back on and the sticky stuff will do its job. Okay. I need to get the speaker back in. I made sure I didn't lose my plug somewhere, so that's hanging out right here. I'll plug this guy back in. Maybe. Click. Yep. And fit that back into its position. Got to be careful not to over torque these fasteners because it will crack these plastic mounts on the speaker. Then the speaker flops around and makes noise. And okay, nearly done here. I just need to get the panel installed. I'm gonna move you guys up high and clip you onto the door. Okay, so first things first, I will get these plugs back in. Now it's starting to turn into a real tight squeeze. There's not much working room here with what's left of these wire leads. Do I have it backwards? Yes, I did. You guys are running out of room to see also. Let's move you over here. Uh-oh, fail. I've got to get that flipped around. There we go. Love my job so much, I do it twice. Then this lock rod will slide in and the clip will turn, hope you guys can see, and lock into place. Now I just need to slip the lock through the hole right here, position the panel, and make sure all the clips line up and just give it some taps and push the clips back into place. One at a time. And down low. Okay, everybody's in. Panel's secure. I've got one screw left here, and then the door handle, and then one more screw right there. Come on. Click. All right, that one's in. And then this very loosely fitting handle goes on right here. Yeah, this thing came in pre-broken, but there's really no fix for repairing this. The tabs are all broken off of it, so it probably comes as part of the door panel assembly, which is unobtainium. The screw hole's not lining up. There it is. A piece of the plastic insulator liner was in the way. Why? Get out of the way. There. Okay. There it is. Now we're good. Okay, let's close the door and operate everything after I get my light out of the way. Oops. All right, handle works, lock works. Yes, it does. We're in good shape here. Okay, a couple little details. I've got to stick this little plastic cover back in. There we go. Okay, there's one more very critical, super important step to take here, and that is do not send these kinds of jobs out with fingerprints on everything, because that takes a good job and turns it into a very, very horrible job nearly instantly. And this is why blue towels are awesome. But it's always those small things that get you. You know, nobody forgets to, well, I wouldn't say nobody, but people don't forget to, you know, bolt wheels on or you know, connect wiring harnesses. I know it does happen, but that's not the most common comeback type of complaint. The one you really want to watch out for are your fingerprints. And that looks pretty good. Got all my smudgy marks off. I'll take a dry side and wipe it down again. There we go. Okay, all that's left is to install that EVAP vent solenoid, and this job is complete. All right, these things are super easy to change. You just give it a tug, pull it up, unplug, and then swap it out with the new one. I'll clear the trouble codes, and then send this bad boy on its way. Plug that in. That goes there. These guys plug in right here. There we go. And the electrical connector with its Chrysler safety clip there. All right, let's go clear the codes, and we're gonna ship this one. Let's key on, engine off, erase, yes, erase. Do it now. All right, key it off again, let the ECM power down, and no check engine light. Success. There we go. All right, everybody, I'm calling it good on this one. This repair is complete, as well as the maintenance service that I did. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can let me know about that by giving me a tappy tap on that thumbs up button. If you did not enjoy this video, you can also let me know down in the comment section below, because I appreciate that stuff too. So, all that being said, I'm gonna wrap this one up, get this thing parked. And as always, I'll remind everybody to not forget to have a great day. Seatbelt, ding, ding. No. Goodbye, red Jeep.